tanucchāyābhiste taruṇataraṇiśrīsaraṇibhiḥ divaṁ sarvāsurvīmaruṇimanimagnāṁ smarati bhavantyasya trasyadvanahariṇaśālīnanayanāḥ sahorvaśyā vaśyāḥ kati na gīrvāṇagaṇikāḥ.
See, in this verse, literally, we are talking of Devi in a particular hue. There are three hues primarily we talk about. One is white, one side of it. Another side is called black. In between, it is red. Most of the times, red is associated with morning sun. Yes, morning sun, which is rising. This is red. Beginning of something. Beginning of that life force, getting infused into this srishti. Okay. Sun never sets, but wherever it begins as red. You should recognize this. Sun never sets, sun never rises. It is said that this particular hue, this particular color, red, this red is associated with something which is just beginning, something which is a source of creation. You see, all sort of activities begin when sun rises. How the world sleeps, look at it. And you understand, a little bit, you see, sun revolving around and people going. One by one. Is it not? Sun going in this direction and people behind just sleeping. It is revolving, people sleeping. It is coming, people waking up. You see how sun is controlling your life? See, Google view of people sleeping on the planet Earth. Suppose you have it. How it would look like? Sun revolving, and wherever the sun recedes, people going to at least start preparing to sleep. Apart from humans, everyone else sleeps, by the way. Okay. Yeah, unless until they have been designed to live in the hunt and do things in the night. See, most of the creatures will get activated as per their nature of working in day or working in night. So for us humans, we are that kind of creature which has been designed to live by the sun, not live by that darker side of it. And therefore, we should associate ourselves with red, white, yellow, and all the hues. But literally, it is too difficult to handle black for us, unless until we have evolved to a level. Black is also a very powerful way of the creation, but that cannot be handled easily. Even white is very difficult to handle. You thought that white is easy, and that is why some versions are created in between. And those versions are, what are four versions? हमारे गुरुदेव कहते थे कि श्वेत स्याह सुर्ख जरदाई जो जस पहिरे तस गुर भाई, which means there are four hues of clothing amongst the monks. Shvet, Syah, Surkh, Zardai, which means Shvet means white, Syah means black, Surkh means red, Zardai means orange or yellow. These are the four hues worn by different sort of sadhakas. For a Shakta tradition person, most of them you will find them clad in red, and some of them will be also adorning themselves with black. That is also one of the color. Some of them, depending on what the occasion is, they will also adorn themselves in white. Rarely yellow. Okay, Shaktas you will never find in yellow. They will be red, black, and white. Red, when you say, orange, of course it comes. It's a hue. Okay. Maroon can also come because it's a red and black. That way. So, but it is not, white is taken up very, very cautiously and at special occasions. Shakti is never assumed in this state in the normal. I'm talking of the people who walk on this planet. Okay. Occasionally you can adopt it, but permanently it's a problem. When I say white, white for women is very, very problematic if they are unable to handle it. Okay. And most of us are not capable of doing it. What you should do then? You should go towards red. Red is the color for women. Okay. You should adopt that. Irrespective of what is your marital status, you should include some redness in your attire. Always. That is must for us. And for men and women equally, this color can be tolerated. But it is rather difficult little difficult. I'm saying well tolerated. For men, it is not. For men, it is not going to create much of trouble. But compared to white, red is going to create some problem for men. These are the facts which you will probably be able to correlate if you look around. White is easily tolerated by men. Red is not that easily adopted, tolerated, and assimilated by them. Now let's talk of black. Black is, as I said, is a very dangerous color. Why? Because it absorbs everything. It's representative of your full involvement in the world. 100% involvement in the world. And that is why you must have seen, just intuitively, those people who become the party goer, those who spend a lot of time in clubs, you'll find them they're inclining towards black. Sooner or later, you'll find they will be inclined towards black. Full engagement with life. And not that engagement, sensual engagement in life. And that is why in Vama, system of Vama, black is the color. And this is to be used upon instructions of your master. Why? Now you are going to transcend this state of your consciousness, the three states of your consciousness. You're going to experience the ascension of your energies by indulgence. Now, indulgence is your way. Transcendence through indulgence. That is what Vama is. And that is why it is very difficult. It's not given to ordinary. Because it will become only self-fulfilling goal in itself. Now, Vama becomes mostly that for people who are not ready for it. You can't transcend. After all, this is the most highest enjoyment probably in the human body. Why? How can you transcend it? It's not possible easily. For that, you have to have a lot of preparation. Then only black can be handled. Even in day-to-day, I'm telling. So women, men equally, you should avoid black. By the way, here there is little piece of advice. Occasionally you can wear, but that occasion should be when you are in company which you feel it is safe and only surrounded by your own people, not in public. Because you're okay with the people you're living, by the way, right? You're okay. You're anyways living with them. You're anyways absorbing their energies, interacting with their energies. So in that sense, in your bedroom, in your home, if you wear black occasionally, it's no problem. But if you are moving out, you're wearing black, it's little problem. This problem will be felt only if you become sensitive enough. Otherwise, every color is fine. So let us just close our eyes and let us try to imagine these three colors in the sequence: white, red, black, and see what happens, how it works. For 30 seconds, imagine white, 30 seconds, imagine red, and 30 seconds, imagine black. Anyways, and tell me. Visualization of white. Now switch to visualization of blood red. And since this is imagination, better close your eyes. Now switch to black. Okay, experiment over. Now let me tell you your observations. Your observations are that when you go to black, you find that it is not black only, so many other colors are also start emerging. Okay, when you go to white, you find that many other colors start emerging. It's not only white, but when you go to red, it is difficult for other colors to take you, give your experience. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now that is why I said these are the two colors, white and black, where other energies are felt so easily. Unless you know how to deal with them, you can't actually carry that. Got my point? So we were talking about different colors associated with uh, the three gunas. Three gunas represented by different colors. Black represented tamas, white represented sattva, red represented rajas. Then it is also said Devi was being worshipped in freshly cut moonstone kind of color. That was just, yeah, Shashimani Shila Bhangaruchibi, just previous to this, white. Now comes red. tanucchāyābhiste taruṇataraṇiśrīsaraṇibhiḥ. divaṁ sarvāṁ urvi aruṇimanimagnāṁ smarati. The Devi has to be remembered completely immersed in crimson red. Now, each and every color has different impact on our own being. And here it is said that if you are worshipping Devi or remembering Devi in this crimson red, then what happens? Many heavenly damsels and celestial courtesans are at your service. They come to you, like Urvashi. And these have been representative of siddhis. You may have probably come across certain books where Apsara Siddhi, all these siddhis are given. Apsaras, why do we want to have Apsaras in our life? Siddhis in our life? Because different Apsaras and different celestial beings give us different powers. Some of them are capable of giving you as much money as you want, as much gold as you want. Some are ready to give you even sensual pleasure as much you want. Some of them are able to tell you about past and present. Some of them will be able to give you a little bit peep into a very, very near future. Okay. That is what it does. Which means what? This Aruna, or the red color, when the Devi is worshipped in that, then it is giving you lot of capacity, to be honest, to be able to operate in this world. And with this capacity, you can get your things done, whatever you wish in the material world. And it is not hearsay, tongue-in-cheek talk. This is true. If you wish to go to certain people who can tell you what is your present and what was your past, I can personally give you addresses. You can go. You can talk to them. They will be able to tell you how many currency notes you're carrying, how many sister brothers you have, what did you eat in the breakfast, 5 years ago what was a particular kind of relationship you were in, and what are your current plans, what are your fears, whatever you are going through, that can be clearly told. These siddhis exist, and you may find some of people using these siddhis. For what? For creating an impact on others, getting name and fame, to influence others, to collect a lot of money from people, and fulfill their whatever personal agenda, good or bad, whatever they have. Maybe somebody has an agenda that I want to establish a bigger and much more bigger temple here, want to create dharmashala here, want to create a big ashram here. What he will do? For the ordinary, it's a very surprising element, is it not? If you visit a person, you stand in front of him and he will start talking to you by taking your name. You arrive there, you haven't told, but the person calls you by name and also asks, कि train ka journey kaisa raha? How was your train journey? You will be astonished. You'll think, yeah, this person is God. That if he can tell me this much, he must be having a lot of control over many other forces which are troubling me. Most of these siddhis, when they are done for the utilization, then it is not said to be coming as mother's blessing. These siddhis come as Pashumata. Pashumata means these siddhis are going to tie you down to the world. These siddhis will only strengthen your bonding with the world. These powers will only enslave you further. These powers will also give you lot of joy, so much so that you start becoming immoral in your conduct. Power corrupts. This is true. And that is why initially when we are into Devi worship, Devi will send these siddhis to us. And many a times, whether you use it knowingly or unknowingly, you see, most of these siddhis, which are from the level of Devi worship, come uninvited. They don't actually give you a feeling of that as if you have received something. But suddenly what will happen? You will find that your speech, your talks, your actions, and many other people will start reporting that so many miracles are happening around you. You don't know that miracles are happening, but so many people will tell you that these are the miracles happening with you. When I interact with you, when I do this, when I do that, you supposedly know what I am going through. You supposedly, call me when I need. You supposedly, come as a help, and so many things will happen. While you are not aware, as if something has been given to you, right? You are not aware. But things will happen. Somebody will tell you, I have seen you at multiple places. Somebody will tell you, I have seen your twin somewhere in the same room. So many things will start happening. Now, this doership, sense of ownership will gradually creep in if you are not attentive. This sense of ego will crystallize, and you will feel as if I am doing this. These are my powers. And then comes this downfall. For sure, it will come. Sooner or later, it comes. Because then you start thinking that these are my powers. You start not only using them at your will by force, but also start abusing them. This is bound to be there with the normal human being who is still in rajas. Let's be clear. We're talking of rajoguna here. We're not talking of sattva. Sattva siddhis are different. Sattva siddhi was Vak siddhi, not WALK. It was VAAK, Vak siddhi, which means whatever I say, whatever I am telling you comes true. Whatever is coming out of somebody's mouth can be taken down, can be taken as a note, and you'll find so many things are getting revealed there. So many things, so many subtler realities are getting illuminated in his speech. That will happen. That is sattva. Here it is different. Here it is clearly told that such damsels come. They are attracted towards such a sadhaka. Sadhaka is initially shining through his sadhana or her sadhana. Such siddhis are attracted. It's only a metaphor to say that damsels are coming. Who will come for the girls then? Of course, you should have better understanding of it. It simply means there are divine powers which get attracted to you. Why? Because you have shown a lot of resolve in your sadhana, dedication in your sadhana. You have cleared up so much garbage so that you have moved from tamas to rajas. That's a long journey, by the way. From the take personality, you have become a just personality, where you are kind of justice oriented, where you follow aste, acharya, aparigraha, which simply means this is a sattvic personality. No, this person is only doing his sadhana to move to sattvic. But unless you have arrived at rajasic, you can't move to sattvic. You will be able to transcend rajas only with this particular sense or attitude, which is called service, attitude of service. There is no other means. Okay? That is why in many places you will see many traditions, spiritual traditions, they will tell you seva, right? Seva. Although that seva also becomes a means to augment and crystallize your ego. You see, your mind is very cunning. You do more seva, your ego is much more bolstered. Right? That is how it happened. Why seva was being done? To become humble, to come out of this rajasic, to gradually move to sattvic, where you become give personality. But what you start taking in return of your seva or service, you start taking pleasure out of it. Understand? The pleasure of that doership you start taking. Then it becomes, you are again stuck up in this. You will never be able to move beyond rajas then. And as your ego will reach a critical mass, you'll again go back to tamas. You will want more out of whatever little you do. So this is our journey. And it was clearly told that you become a kavi. Kavi simply does not mean a poet. Kavi also means soul. Right? Kavi means purusha. Kavi means the someone who is a ascetic. Kavi also means someone who knows the kala, have understood the secret of kala. That is also known as kavi. Kavi is also known as someone who is uh, proficient and master or adept in particular subject. That is also Kavi. Right? So you become Kavi means all the powers come. Initially, it was told in the previous two shlokas we have seen that, is it not? And then we are seeing this where it is said that damsels will be attracted. By the way, that happened. That happened with Vishwamitra, who was doing his tapas, and Urvashi got attracted. She came to him. They got married. Urvashi had a child also from Vishwamitra. Right? This is how a circle starts, and you start getting engaged and entangled in life again and again. Right? So even rishis are not an exception. A person who was born Kshatriya turned out to become a Brahmin in his own lifetime. Such was the mettle, such was the tapa of Vishwamitra. From Rajarshi to Brahmarshi, he could move. Who became a Brahman. Brahman, the knower of Brahman, following the path of Sattva, is known as Brahman. The achiever of that state of oneness with Brahman or Shiva, following the path of Sattva, is known as Brahmin. Such a rishi is called Brahmarshi. Someone who is not yet completely purified and has a hint of rajas, then what rajas will do? Rajas is giving us one thing which is known as anger. Any rajasic person can never be free of anger. Rajas means anger. Why? Because rajas means I want there should be a clear, justified give and take. Balance should be in a straight line. There should be no bias in the offering and in the receipts. And whenever this balance will go little bit here and there, anger. Anger is the natural outcome. He is not doing right. Right? This is the way to get angry. For most of us, it is so. I have done good to him. He or she is not returning the favor. Therefore, I am angry at him or her. What does it mean? Pure rajas. Account should be balanced. Credit debit should be equal. This is rajasic. So rajasic person tends to get angry very easily because he lives by this his own notion of that I am a justice loving person. In sattva there is no justice. Tell me, somebody comes and slaps you and you forgive. Is it justice? Tell me. Somebody cheats you. Is it, and you forgive? Is it justice? No. A rajasic person will say, you are a fool of the highest order if you are not talking to that person and not telling him that he has not done right. Strong rajas. So actually red is rajas, and therefore the grace of mother also comes only to support and augment it wherever you are. Enjoy being there. You want to engage with the world. When you are in rajasic state of guna, you want to engage with the world. You want to give more, you want to receive more, you want to do more, you want to get recognized more, and so many things. But if you start entertaining these siddhis, this becomes a problem for sure. What should be our way out? That should be known to us. I am not saying that rajasic behavior is totally wrong. Right? It's not so. All the three gunas at the level of mind and below, okay, will continue to exist. What you'll have to do instead, that you try to fixate your intellect in sattva. fully understand that I wish to be this, where I do not demand desired things for myself. And you should have clear understanding why you don't want that. Suppose, I'll tell you one example, give you one example that how Rajas is involved even with the Sattvic people. A pure Sattvic person wishes to travel from, let's say, Rishikesh to Haridwar. He goes to the bus stand, and conductor tells that 20 rupees or 40 rupees is the ticket, right? He gives 40 rupees, right? In return, will he not take the ticket? Give only 40 rupees and will not take the ticket. Say, I only give, I don't take. Which means in your transactions, Rajas is involved. You can't do without it. So in the same way, there are so many things in our way, what we call tamasic. Now, try to find out, and you can easily find an example for where you are tamasic. And most of us are. And there, if we become more and more aware, we will be able to move to Rajasic. But somewhere we are helpless, we can't do much. Let me tell you how. See, how much we are taking from the Mother Earth. Are we in any case capable of returning anything back? How much we are taking from the atmosphere? How much we are consuming this air, prana vayu, right? Are we in any case able to return it directly to that? No, not one. It's happening directly while we are enjoying the fruit of it. Consumption is conscious, giving back is unconscious. I'll tell you how. Consumption of food, taste, everything, you are satisfying your taste buds. You are quenching your thirst, you are satiating your hunger, everything is conscious. You see? You'll see, but ultimately the excreta will go and fertilize the land. This is unconscious. Understand? So what is this act? This act is conscious consumption, unconscious giving back, without any sense of doership or sense of responsibility. Which means what? Here we are tamasic. Take personality, wherever I am consuming and I am not thinking of giving back, or rather I am not capable of giving back, I am definitely going to fall in that band where I am the consumer. I am only the taker. I cannot be a conscious giver. So that simply means if we have to live in this world, from the mind onwards, the indriyas, the karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas, the panchatattvas, bodies, everything will operate in the three gunas only. You can't come out of it. But your intellect should be rooted in sattva. It means what? Wherever decision has to be taken, it will be a sattvic decision. Wherever any conscious choice has to be made, it has to be a sattvic choice. This is how we move from lower bands to higher bands. What moves? The body mind continues to revolve in the tamasic, rajasic, sattvic circles. This is its nature. By way of its own nature, it is bound to these cycles of gunas. In Gita, Krishna says this, that only gunas are interacting with gunas. You are beyond that. Who you are? A consciousness which makes choices. A knower who makes choices. That's it. Makes a choice and knows. Is it not? That means chittam along with buddhi. Consciousness, whatever you perceive, and the decisions you make. That's it. Beyond that, everything is taken care of by the natural forces. Do you decide for how my food will be assimilated, how my water will be reaching to different parts of my body? Do you decide how you will breathe and prana will be consumed? You don't take. These are unconsciously happening processes. These processes do not require your engagement. That means body mind continues to operate in these cycles whether you intervene or not. Your intervention comes, or your own personality which you think you are. What is it? One consciousness which is all-knowing, along with what you know and how you define yourself as. This is what you are. Who are you? is this body. If this body is you, you should have become old by now. Your own consciousness, that sense of presence, should have diminished by now. It would have become more and more weak. But do you ever feel like this, that I was more present yesterday or 10 years back than today? No. My presence is equally shining with same luminosity right now as it was shining 10 years back or 50 years back. Your presence is shining through without any sense of or any attenuation or any what you call fading. Your own presence, your consciousness shines through, unaffected. Neither it is more nor it is less. It is just there. But what has been changing? Your self-definitions. What you know and how you interact. What decisions you take. This much is only in our capacity. If you say, my mind is a wanderer, it's a monkey mind, it gives lot many thoughts, it gives bad thought, it gives too many thoughts, then it's a problem. It's a job of mind to give thoughts. And as many types of thoughts as you may have imagined and even may not have imagined. Those many types of thoughts mind should give you, then only it's a good mind. If this mind does not give you options, you cannot operate in this world. This simply means mind will continue to give all the options. Mind is not a problem. Problem is in our understanding. Problem is in our intellect. Problem is in our buddhi. What we are, we actually closely associate ourselves. Our own consciousness is more associated with buddhi, whereas mind is associated with the world. In this junction of mind and buddhi, all the gunas exist. That's right. Mind will give you some food. You will have to interact using your intellect. How do you interact with the world? How you will call you are a sattvic person? Mind, which will gather information from the world and will generate its own, will feed you to the intellect. Yes, intellect will decide how to take action upon whatever bunch of information has come in. The tonality of your decision and your decision making process will decide whether you are a sattvic person, rajasic person or tamasic person. The world is the same for everybody. World is the same for everybody, whether he is sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. And also let me tell you, mind of every person, sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, will be the same. But the only difference will be, if you have trained your intellect, if you have become rather resolved to purify your intellect to a particular guna, what you will do is, you will instruct your karmendriyas, jnanendriyas to engage in the subjects where the particular tonality is met. If you have trained or resolved to be in a particular zone of guna, then you will give instructions to your karmendriyas and jnanendriyas to engage in a particular domain. Suppose you have decided to become sattvic, that I want to, now onwards, I want to rather disengage from the world and be more contemplative towards that consciousness which I am. This is your resolve. How will you operate now? You will now instruct your karmendriyas, jnanendriyas to engage in a domain of work or situation and whatever, place, geography, where the tonality of the inputs which is coming is more or less satisfying to your need, to your resolve. That is what it does. So yes, at one place I am saying that the mind onwards is a cyclic thing. But it is also subordinate to your intellect vibration. If you ask your mind to stop thinking this and rather think that, it does. Suppose you're thinking about something, you have been given a task in your office, thinking about your home affairs, suddenly your intellect will tell, no, this is not the time, mind, my friend mind, it is not your time to think about the family problems. It is time to focus on your subject, on your project. Then mind will listen to it, which means what? Mind is also subjugated to this intellect. Mind does what intellect says. So, at one hand, if it is not a conscious choice to control your mind, mind is going to operate in this cyclic process. Sometimes sattvic, sometimes sattvic, mostly rajasic, tamasic, it will continue. But your intervention makes it the whole system below, sattvic or rajasic or tamasic. So this sadhana, when we are engaged in this Devi sadhana, while we are trying to do all sort of engagement in all sort of gunas, what for? What for we are worshipping Devi in red? What for we are worshipping Devi in white? In a particular vigraha, why are we thinking that way? Why we want to worship Devi in a particular offering, which the form which offers us particular capacities? What for? Again, only for sattvic use. What is sattvic use? इसके बारे में एक बात हिंदी में कहता हूं. सात्विक यूज मीन्स आप अपनी मर्जी से नहीं चलेंगे, या ऐसा कहें दूसरी तरीके से कि बस अब आप अपनी ही मर्जी से चलेंगे. दोनों बातें एक ही है. किस तरह से? What it means? Being sattvic means now you will operate in this world not as an individual. That means you don't have any choices, and nobody can make you take any decisions for him or her. Means no matter what somebody is singing in front of you, you will not be affected by it. That means you are in fact not listening to what is coming to you. So that means if you are praising an ordinary person, what will be his response? His understanding will be that this is a very nice person. He respects me, and therefore I must do good to him. That means such a person is rather being affected by the world, and his decisions or her decisions are influenced by the world. And who is taking that decision? Individual. Who is getting propitiated? Who is getting praised? So that means individual is making choices. So as an individual, if I don't make any choices, whose choices I am going to channel now? Only her choices. इसके लिए एक शब्द है मौज. मौज में रहना, मन मौजी. लेकिन ये साधुओं के लिए है. दिस इज फॉर those people who are now rooted in sattva. They don't get affected by your crying and now I am suffering, I have so many problems, and as if they will become immediately engaged in your seva, service. Let me do something about this person. This means what? Individual was told, and now please understand what it means, individual was told. For example, when a person is talking to you and you think that this person has told me something and this information has come to me now and therefore it needs an action or response, it simply means such a person is still an individual. He is not living in the cosmic consciousness, Shiva consciousness. Otherwise, everything in this world is in his consciousness. Why should he take so much interest in a particular band of information which is coming from a person or being presented now? Everything, which means every mind is in his mind, every problem is in his domain, every suffering he knows, every pleasure he understands. In that consciousness, in fact, he is totally disengaged with it, though it is he is present everywhere. ये साधक लोगों का प्रॉब्लम होता है. They become kind of a sattvic, suppose karo, but they have not been able to come out of their individuality. The individuality remains, and therefore, and their presence, their consciousness, their experience of self is now getting beyond little. Now it is spreading. It is going little bit beyond the body. Right? Please understand what I mean. Empathy is exact outcome of what I'm saying. Empathy means I can feel your pain. I truly understand your pain. It's not in words only. I truly mean so. Correct or not? Which means if I'm focusing on pain, of course I'll know pain. If I'm focusing on the uniform, what you say, white noise, whatever is available, because everything is available in my consciousness, I need not focus on a particular subject. Then only my consciousness, my presence is diffused, alert, and expanded. Yes or no? The moment I become focused on something, it is contracted, differentiated, individualized, right? Because it is going to create that one-on-one interaction, one-on-one connect. Now, if a sadhak has started progressing little bit, in the beginning what happens is, he or she would not know how to operate in this world now. He has started taking baby steps and his consciousness has started moving little bit more than, more than body. The presence is beyond the body to a limited area. Not yet expanded to the full, but to a limited area. What is that limited area? That limited area is the one which we are able to connect with our senses, one, or imagination, two. Only two ways. But let me tell you, world exists beyond the reach of your senses and also beyond your imagination. The world which we are experiencing is not only in these two domains, but whatever I can see and whatever I can imagine, this is the world. No. So till the time you're operating in this domain of kind of a little bit of expansion, which is not body centric now, which has moved beyond your body a little bit, it is able to feel things, connect with things, resonate with things which are beyond your body, geographically, physically, and maybe in your imagination, if you imagine someone, if you connect with someone. In our growth in a spiritual world, our problem is that we start kind of getting to that frame of mind where we, despite our consciousness being able to go beyond the body, expand a little bit, still we are thinking ourselves as body, as an individual, operating as an individual. When you will operate in this zone, the problems will come. Shivoham, one. But another thing is Vishwoham. I am the world. Now tell me, if you are the world, why should anything in this world, because sum total is a straight line. Yes or no? All the pains, all the pleasures, all the sufferings, all the enjoyments, all the profit, all the losses, it is a straight line. No movement at all. Nothing has changed. The weight of earth remains the same. Hmm? Collectively, it remains the same. Whether it is supporting 700 million people or 7 billion people or 7 trillion people. That means it's a straight line. Weight of Earth is not going to change. Whether dinosaurs live on it or dinosaurs are completely extinct. It's a straight line. That means when you start understanding and start experiencing this particular zone of consciousness where you are the world, why should world bother you? Because it is a straight line. Sum total is always a straight line. But when you have been able to perceive yourself as someone who is all permeating, present everywhere, not focused on a particular subject. Subject, when I say subject, means a person, a situation, whatever. So now you understand how easy it is. And I did say that you start moving in this path of sadhana. Gradually, you people, whatever you are wondering today, tomorrow you people will be able to actually know how it happens. Some people come back and tell, Acharya, how did you know that I am not keeping well? Many of you have come back and said, how did you know that I need your attention? Probably I needed a message from you. How? It's so easy. So easy means only when you are able to go beyond your body consciousness, wherever you focus, you know. But the point is, why should you? You should have a purpose. Purpose was only getting amazed and getting more fearful. A sadhaka suffers more than an ordinary, खाओ पियो मस्त रहो, पब में जाओ दारू पियो खुश रहो, उससे ज्यादा सफर करता है साधक. Please remember this. Therefore, sadhaka needs to be very, very, very attentive all the time. Like a toddler. And that is why always stay in the ambit of Guru Mandala. Always stay in the grace field of Mother Divine. Never ever think that you are operating through this body. Let her operate through this body as much as you can. You become a witness. And then what happens? The world continues to run. You remain a witness. Occasionally you shift to that consciousness of the differentiated consciousness and operate. You take a decision. That is what I was saying. कि उस समय हम अपनी मर्जी नहीं चलाते, हम उसकी मर्जी चलाते. यानी हम नहीं डिसाइड करते किसकी सेवा करनी. We don't decide whom to help. We don't decide on the quantum of anybody's suffering, that this is the person whom I should support or help at that moment. Whatever it comes, whatever is intuitive feeling, I do it. But it should not become a escape route for those who have not yet reached there. Why? Because क्या होता है, if I say that this is the way to operate in this world, many of you would say, ठीक है, हम तो साधक हैं, we are a sadhaka, and therefore हम तो मर्जी मौज में रहेंगे. And your mind, your cunning mind will give you lot many instructions to ignore, omit, avoid so many people, so many things, so many instructions, so many actions and duties, which otherwise you would have done. They are incumbent upon you. You must take action, but you are not going to take, only because you are taking a escape route now. हम तो साधक है, बोल दिया गया है, इंस्टिंक्ट में आए तो करो, नहीं तो ना करो, उसकी मर्जी हो तो करो. We should clearly know, when am I operating, when is she operating through this. You can't give the ownership of a thing done by you to her. You should know, this was I who was operating here. It was not she. That is our understanding about different zones and different bands of our consciousness. What we are understanding here, that in a particular way, in a particular color, in a particular state of mind, in a particular emotion, Devi operates through various other subordinate forces. They become the task doers of hers. Those servants are the siddhis of the servants, rather the servants of servants of servants for the mother, not direct servants. Direct servants are, you know, who are direct servants. And therefore, what should we do? How should we approach Devi? In whatever color, in whatever form, in whatever hue. You should at the end always know and fully be aware of this. I am doing this only because she wants me to do it to experience her. That's it. Nothing else. Anything less than that is not okay for me. Any siddhi, not okay for me. Even if I get the power to cure the whole world right away, right now, at my command, all the diseases will be gone today. No, that is not what I want. Do you think if someone gets this power and is able to heal the world by one command, diseases will disappear from this world? They will be healed. Which deity represents on red? You see, deities don't represent a particular color. A color represents so many deities in one particular color. And you can't name them. Actually, it is so exhaustive a list. For example, each and every indriya which we carry, each and every tattva has a deity associated. In each and every chakra, there are multiple deities operating. Each and every karmendriya, there are deities operating. Let me give you an example, then you will understand what I mean. Through our hand, Indra operates. Just like that I'm giving. I'm not going to give you a complete list of operates. That means Indra is the deity of hand, the deity of clouds, the deity of winds. You know, there are 49 deities of winds. There are 7 deities of Agni. And then comes the differentiated, Shitaushat Panchashat. 56 type of things can happen there. That means 56 type of deities should be associated with the earth itself. Because there are 56 rays coming out of the Prithvi Tattva. You may not be able to understand the particular job assigned to the deity also. Even Shankracharya could not elaborate on it. Though the list of the deities and names of the deities or the rays or mayukhas have been described. If you wish, I can give you the list. But by going through that list, you will not be able to make out anything. Many names are recurring in many other lists. You'll find, and there also I found Kallolini, and there also I find Kallolini. What is this? There is also find Hakini. There also I find Hakini. Is the same Hakini? There is no need. Why? These things are being taken care of by her. Everything in your body, all your organs are automated. Rather, by intervening here is going to create more problem for you. So therefore, deities are not worshipped that way. At best, what we have learned by now, I can tell you that at best, we can connect with 6 different deities which are associated with chakras. Now the sum total, the guardian one, the chief, that's it. We are not getting into the details of it. So the Prithvi Tattva, suppose we say Prithvi Tattva, then we can connect with deity, any deity which is connected. Now prominently you can go to Ganapati, let's say, right? The Ganapati will decide how 56 mayukhas are to be managed. You don't directly intervene. You talk to the minister for your work. You don't tell him that you have this department, that clerk, this letter, this thing, you have to send by courier or you have to get it typed from that. No. You only tell your problem. Problem statement. What is outcome? It is to be decided by the deity, the one who presides. So for that, we don't engage in the management of these many deities. We at best manage the chakra deities. with the sixth being the Guru Tattva itself. Beyond that, in between Sahasrara and Agya, you have a Guru Chakra. There, Guru is the deity. We don't actually get into that detailing here of which color, which deity is to be associated with. By the way, when I talked about Pashumatara, it is that 7 koti, Sapta koti Pashumataras are there. 7 crores Pashumataras are there. 7 crore is a number. You'll say they are doing different jobs, by the way. If suppose someone says that I want to master a particular deity here in a particular domain connected with a particular chakra, that is also possible, by the way, but it is again the problem that that person will be again bound, Pashumatara. For example, let me tell you that suppose you say I want to have some control on Marutas. Okay, one particular Maruta you can work on. Now, in that case, you will have control on the winds. Winds blow because of the action of the deities which are called Marutas. There are 49 number. There are 49 different types of Marutas who manage this movement, and so many other things associated with the particular tattva called Pavan, air. Now, if you say I want to work on it, and suppose your teacher, he gives you certain sadhana, it is possible you can do it. Then what you can do is, the fan is running in full speed, but there is no air movement happening in this room. Why? Because the conscious command to deities is now, don't move the air. Let the fan run. All aerodynamics gone for a toss. You thought that Bernoulli's theorem and this theorem and that theorem is commanding this world. Deities command this world. Otherwise, you will never have an explanation for these siddhis, as I told you. How will you explain that somebody coming in front of you and just talking to you by name, giving you all the details possible, whatever you know, even the currency, note, number, etc., whatever is in your pocket can be given to you. By what rule? Which scientific experiment you will prove that it is possible? Not possible. You'll say, no, it must be a trick. It's not possible. So the rules are not yet known. Forget about it. We have not been able to even understand that the earth itself on which we live is represented by one simple animal. Earth is cow. And in many Puranas it has been told, in many Upanishads also, in Mahabharata also it has been told that out of the 7 keepers of the earth, one of them is cow. If cow is destroyed from this planet, earth will not be yielding anymore. Cow is earth. Earth is cow. That is why Indian system so much importance is given. Cow slaughter band karo, go hatya band karo, nahi chahiye, don't kill cows. And the cows has also been defined. Kaisi cow? What is cow? Cow is the one, यहाँ पर कंबल होता है, यानी कि ये एरिया में you should have कंबल and you should have a hum. And you may have read many stories in Puranas where it was told that when the earth started suffering because of demons, then it approaches the Brahma. In which form? In the form of a cow. As a cow, she reaches there and starts crying, please help. Lot of problems are happening. I am unable to bear that load. That is what. So the world is very, very mysterious. You would never know. The scientists would never understand. No scientist can ever explain. Such feats are managed by such deities. Now, suppose you have gotten this power. Tell me that you will never display it ever to anybody. Suppose you have this power that you can, at your command, the wind will not blow. Fan continues to run. Will you not be tempted. Rather, I'm sure you will display this power. So, 100% you will get this temptation that I must. What is power for? Power is always for gaining something. What are you gaining there? A sense of being more powerful than anybody else. I can control the flow of air. This is what you are going to. You can't. Being superior. You will display it. Now, will you remain quiet after displaying it once? Question yourself. I can tell you, if you get the power to give the commands to even a small ant, move straight, it moves. Then move right, it moves to the right. Stop, turn, about turn, she takes turn. You will start displaying it. You can't hold yourself. Think of it. So this is the reason any power means going back to the world, running as if Eureka, Eureka, Archimedes, whether you are wearing any cloth or not. You have discovered something, you have gotten the power, you will run even without clothes to the world to show it. Understand? That means power means engagement with the world. Siddhi means engagement with the world. That is why every time, even Patanjali Vibhuti-pad also describes everything but says useless to be engaged in these. Useless to entertain in these powers. Why? Because power will always bring you back to the world, where from you are moving away in your sadhana. What is the best power to have? The best power is to spread happiness, to spread joy. That is the best power. And I can tell you, this is very simple to accumulate. To keep yourself happy and happy, everyone happy. That's the best siddhi, I would say, you can have. If you want to have any siddhi, this is the siddhi. First, I should be happy for no reason. And then, whosoever is around me should be happy because I am here. That's it. That's the best siddhi. No siddhi bigger than this. That person who came across the river, walking over the surface of water. And then Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, ये तो दो आने तुमने जो नाव वाले के भी मार लिए. कितने साल लगाए सिद्धि में? बोले 15 साल साधना की. बोले 15 साल करके तुमने 20 पैसे की सिद्धि करी, 2 आने की सिद्धि करी. So this is what it means. At the end of it, enlightened people will also say useless. Tell me, there are so many great magicians around. Is it not? You may have seen sometimes over the television, maybe live also, you may have seen great magicians seemingly do impossible feats, right or not? But are they able to change anything in your life? Nothing. Literally nothing. Zero. Yes. Only at the time when you're facing that, when you're viewing that show, probably watching it, maybe for a little time, sometime you may forget your suffering. That's it. Beyond that, अरे तो क्या हुआ, ये जादू के शो से जिंदगी थोड़ा ना चलती. You will start saying, जादू का शो छोड़ के थोड़ा जिंदगी में खुश रह सकता. मेरे पति को मुझसे प्यार करना चाहिए, मेरी पत्नी को मेरे फेथफुल होना चाहिए, मेरे आसपास मेरे रिश्तेदारों को खुश होना चाहिए, मेरी सास को मेरी बड़ाई करनी चाहिए. तब ये सिद्धि है. ये सिद्धि क्या है? These are useless things. That is why every sadhaka will tell. And last but not the least, in this when we look at Devi, completely immersed in this red, we are blessed with this power. For sure. This is power to attract people. That's a wrong notion that we need power for self-transformation. Rather, we need to relinquish all the powers to get transformed. Right away, right now. Your transformation is possible by giving away all the powers you have had so far, all the recognitions and all the accolades all the appreciation letters, all the medals, and all the good or bad, both. Medals should be dropped right away, right now. That's transformation. Accumulation of power is not transformation. It's only consolation. Okay? And let me tell you, Tattva Shakti Vigyan Pratham Koti, Dvitiya Koti, Tritiya Koti works on that principle of consolation. Beyond that, this is only surrender. The true seeker is only completely surrendered. Self-transformation is something where a sense of doership definitely will be with you. But self-recognition is not so. The path of spirituality begins with self-transformation, but it moves to the zone of self-recognition. Initially, you have to have that kind of power, and you should give that kind of, and that sadhana or the practices should give you that sense of movement, although there is no movement. Why? Because Chit Shakti is common factor everywhere. It knows everything. Progressing or not progressing, you are there. You see, what you want to know? You want to know yourself, everyone. What is your journey? To know yourself. Now tell me, I did not progress, but I was there or not? And I progressed. Was I there or not? That means I is a common denominator, whether progress or no progress. Which means what? Progress or no progress does not affect I. I remains unsullied, unaffected, always. What is the whole sadhana for? This is to recognize who am I. Correct? Now tell me, in who, one day suppose you know who you are. That day will you say you have moved any forward? You say, I always knew that I was there, but for the first time I know who I am. That's it. No sense of movement, only sense of knowing. That knowing exists even today. Do you not know that you exist? Nobody has this doubt. And therefore, it is said, praptasya prapti. This whole endeavor of a spiritual sadhana and journey is summarized in one word. Praptasya prapti. Getting what we already have. So, but your question is not an invalid question. You have asked, what should we do with the power of red, deity in red? Yes, we can do a lot of things. We can attract not only siddhis, but also siddhas. Because you have this power of attraction to whom? If you are in rajas, then it's a power of engagement with the world. If your intent is to move beyond rajas and to move to sattva, or even let's say beyond the three gunas, then the siddhas can be attracted using the same power. So the red gives you that power to attract. What is your goal? What do you want to attract? Is up to you. So that way, only intent needs to be it. We never decide what we want to actually work on. We never decide. That's a general rule, let me tell you. Unlike modern medicine system, where if some vitamin is less, we will say, this vitamin you have to take, that vitamin you have to take. Go to Vaidyas, they will prescribe you whole herbs or powdered herbs, which will have many more things. Not only the supplement, kind of only vitamin A or only vitamin D or only vitamin B. They'll say wholesome food you take, body will decide what to take. This is the best way. So the best way to work on our own self is to define a goal for ourselves. As you already know, you have a defined goal for yourself, that you want to know yourself. Now, this power of attraction will only give you those kind of inputs coming to you which will help you in this. Such powers will be attracted to you. Such guidance will be coming to you. And the guidance will come in many forms. And you should be ready to receive it from all the sides, where from it comes. Completely knowing it is her grace. Through her siddhis, the servants of servants of servants are coming to me, helping me in my endeavor, in removing my roadblocks, in clearing my whatever mental fog I have. That is what it is. So red is a very, very good color, especially when it is connected to deity, and especially when it is connected to Devi, which we are worshipping here. And whatever Shankracharya is defining, he is not talking only of material world. His eyes are always on our upliftment. Our upliftment in what sense? That we get disengaged from the world and become more and more introvert, more and more contemplative, more and more connected with our own self. That is what it means. We start taking world as secondary, self as primary. Today what is happening? The world is primary, self is secondary, tertiary, whatever. For people, self doesn't exist, most of them. Only world exists.